Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel, and let's just jump straight into the update information. So gears, the big talking point. So literally 50% discount, so literally half of what they used to be. 1 gear token and 40 scrap is needed for power 1. We have 1 gear token, 100 scrap for power 2, and 2 gear tokens and 200 scrap for power 3. Okay, so first we're going to be starting off with the buffs. So a lot of the worst brawlers within the game have been buffed within these balance changes, and first off we have Buzz. So Buzz within the Brawl Talk, he had this balance change and they've gone through with it. So his base HP has gone from 6,300 to 6,600. So that is a 300 HP buff, which doesn't really seem like a lot, but will definitely help him out, especially whenever he's swooping onto an opponent, because a lot of times you just get melted a little bit too quickly. So this will definitely help him out in the meta, but Supercell have got some patch notes as well, so I'll quickly relay those just to give you guys their thoughts and the reasonings as to why they actually buffed Buzz. So Supercell did say our favorite lifeguard has had some issues guarding his own life, so we gave him some more HP to allow him to stay in the fray for a little bit longer. So as I said, just allowing him to stay alive a little longer, especially when he's supering in. Okay, so the next balance change we have Poco. So Poco's damage has gone from 1050 at max level to 1200, so 150 damage buff, which doesn't seem like a lot, but any type of buff with Poco seems to have like a really strong effect, and I think this is going to increase his slaying power a lot. Like, imagine a Poco is screeching solo. I think he's going to be a really underrated brawler. I'm not going to say he's going to be like the best brawler within the game, because it's only like a 150 damage buff, but for sure, especially in Power League, he was basically not ever used unless the enemy team just went like a really low DPS. He was used a few times in competitive, but other than that, he just wasn't used whatsoever. He's only a brawler that you can use within ladder, well before this buff anyway, in combination with tanks, but I feel like he's going to stand alone as his own brawler now, which is perfect because Poco has always needed this type of buff. Okay, so now moving on to the biggest buff by far within these balance changes, we have the NITA buff. So first off, she has her damage increased from 1320 to 1440. So this is an insane damage buff, 120 damage, especially with how quick her reload speed is. She's going to get so much damage onto the opponent, which is going to be really nice. And the biggest change, her super charge is going from 6 hits to 5 hits. Bruce is just going to infinitely spawn on the field. I'm going to call it now. She's definitely going to be like a top 5 brawler within the meta. Although she only really thrives in like gem grab and Brawl, she's going to be used a lot more in heist as well. And like 6k HP on Bruce, constantly spawning out with 5 hits. I just think NITA is going to be absolutely insane with the next update. Okay, so next up with a nerf and a buff, we have Lola. So both of her gadgets have received like a big change. So the first one is her stunt double gadget. Of course, you guys know it's a pretty useless gadget. Sometimes it would have its uses, but overall the other gadget was just way stronger. So stunt double has had a healing buff. So before, used to only heal 350, and now you heal for 1,000. So still don't get a lot of healing, but at least it's like near enough tripled. So you might get a little bit more play out of that one. And then her freeze frame gadget, of course, literally like the best gadget within the game right now. Literally it's gone from 75% damage reduction to 50%. So although it seems like a lot of reduction, like 50% is still huge, and I still feel like this gadget is going to be super strong. Okay, so next up we have a buff on one of the worst brawlers within the game right now. We have Jackie. So Jackie's damage has gone from 1740 to 1860. So again, only like a 120 damage buff, but I'm pretty sure this changes a lot of the interactions with Jackie, especially on those super squishy brawlers. But just overall, like a damage buff is going to really help her out, because a lot of times I just felt like I was always like low on ammo, always like one shot away from killing the opponent, especially when you combine this with her counter crush style power. I feel like she could be definitely a viable option within like a really grassy map or within a map with a lot of walls. So watch out for Jackie within this meta. Okay, so finally for the buffs then we have Meg. So Meg has slowly been dropping off within the meta. When she used to literally get her super within 6 hits, she used to be one of the best brawlers within the game. She received a big nerf to that supercharge, and right now she's probably within like the bottom 15 brawlers within the meta. So the buff for her right now, her supercharge has gone from 8 hits to 7 hits. So just a small change, but I think it's going to really help her out, especially on the maps that she used to thrive on before, especially within Hot Zone. She's going to obviously cycle her super a lot easier, and it's just going to allow her to just dominate a little bit more. Don't think she's going to be in any way OP, but definitely a lot more viable within the hot zone. Okay guys, so now moving on to the nerfs with the next balance changes, starting off with Penny then. So literally all the top 5 brawlers, by the way, are getting nerfs, so going to be some big changes to the meta, hopefully. I don't remember the last time where all top 5 brawlers have received a nerf, but first off we have Penny then. So base HP has gone down from 5,700 to 5,400, so again, just like Brawl Talk, it is the change that we thought already, but of course Penny, like a brawler that would basically do everything and had 5,700 HP. I always said that HP nerf would have been pretty nice, and just a small one for now. I don't think it's going to impact her too much in the meta, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so next up on the nerf list we have Karl. So his base HP has gone down from 6,600 to 6,000, so a 600 HP nerf. I feel like this is going to impact him a little bit, like already within draft anyways, like it's becoming like a less viable option, just because you could counter him pretty hard with brawlers like Surge and Colette, but overall I still feel like it's going to be a decent option. I like that they didn't nerf him by his projectile speed or his damage or anything like that, because normally that just makes him one of the worst brawlers within the game. So I feel like he might be somewhat around the middle, or probably at least a top 15 brawler. Okay, so now moving into quite possibly the biggest nerf within the changes, we have Crow. So Crow's gadget has finally been nerfed. It's been so long, we've been calling out for it ever since it basically got into the game, but 5 seconds to 3 seconds now. So this would be really interesting, because I think personally a lot of other people as well will pretty much kill Crow out of the meta. Like the gadget for him was the main reason why he was so strong. 3 seconds still is quite some time, especially considering all you need to do is like poison the opponent, so you still might get some good control with Crow, but a 2-second nerf is really going to impact him in the meta. Okay, so next up with a big nerf we have Bonnie. So her base HP in Clyde form has gone from 7,800 to 7,200, so a 600 HP nerf. I think this is going to be a big change for her, because just getting near like 8,000 HP as a sniper and basically being a tank at the same time, it was just way too OP. So being able to kill her a lot quicker now should be somewhat okay. Like people were finally starting to learn how to counter Bonnie, but I still think she's going to be one of the best brawlers within the game. Okay, so finally moving on to the last set of balance changes for Janet, we have 2 nerfs to her. So I feel like this might impact her quite a fair bit. So the first one, her base HP going from 5,400 to 5,100. That's a 300 HP nerf, which of course, like Janet, I just felt like was a little bit too tanky for the type of brawler she was. Like she's got some decent range, and then of course you could literally land on top of people and just burst them down so quickly without really getting punished. So at least this HP nerf, you have to think about it a little bit whether you want to go in or not. And then her supercharge rate has gone from 5 hits to 6 hits. So I think it's going to impact her a lot, because especially on maps like Minecart Madness, I felt like she got her super a little bit too quickly. She could just apply pressure so easily. Literally, she could just be respawning and just super up literally all of the time. So an extra hit would definitely affect her chances to cycle her super. Okay, so now taking a look at the 2 new gadgets coming with the next update. Starting off with a Buzz's new gadget, X-Ray Shades. So for 12 seconds within his supercharge area, he can see within the bushes. I don't really like the idea of this gadget, just because if you don't have your super, you already know where the opponents are in and around the grass. You can't obviously see exactly where they are, but your bar will start going up if they're within your supercharging area. So I just feel like this gadget is a bit counterintuitive. It's only really good on like when you already have your super right, and I feel like the other gadget is just completely made for Buzz, so I don't really see this gadget being too viable, but at least you can get some value with it. Okay, and lastly we have Griff's new gadget called Coin Shower. So with this one, Griff's next coin toss shoots 33% more coins, so only an extra like 1,170 damage. Don't feel like, again, this is going to do too much. At least it's some extra DPS, so if you don't have the other gadget with Griff, it can be somewhat useful. But overall, I feel like Griff's other gadget is the main reason why people pick him in competitive. You want to break open a map, and Griff's such a great option for that, because just with a click of a button you can destroy so much terrain. So I don't think this gadget is going to be the meta one either, so both new gadgets a little bit underwhelming. So now we're going to be going over the map pool changes and also the Power League / Club League rotation. So first off, going through Hot Zone then. So Hot Zone, 2 maps have been removed, and the 2 that have replaced them are Quarter Pounder and the new map Controller Chaos. So I believe the two maps that got removed are Imbalance and Trident, so not much really changing within Hot Zone. Okay, so next up we have Knockout. So Knockout, only one map has been removed, and that is Hidden Enemy, and a new map in New Perspective, so not much really changing within the Knockout meta. Okay, so next up we have Gem Grab. So a lot of maps have been removed, only 7 maps within the rotation right now, which seems to be a common theme. Maybe they're trying to switch up like how ladder is really played, but Undermine, a map that has previously been in the game, back in the game, and a lot of maps have been removed, so you can clearly see which ones have been removed. Now there's a lot: Spring Trap, Chill Space, Death Cap Trap, Flooded Dam, Open Space, Gem Exchange, Glass Half Full, and Duality all have been removed, and just Undermine it coming into the game. So next up we have Brawl. So Brawl, a lot of maps have been removed as well, just like Gem Grab, so only 7 maps within the rotation. The only new map, well, the map returning, is Sunny Soccer, so the rest of the maps have been completely removed. So next up we have Bounty then. So Bounty, 3 maps have been added and 3 maps removed. So Snake Prairie, Side by Side, and Don't Turn Around have been removed, and then we have Temple Ruins back, which is a really nice bounty map. I'm excited to play this one again. I don't believe it's been in the game for a little while, but you have to correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but I'm excited to play it. I used to love playing that. Hideout, also a kind of an OG map, and XL, so 3 new bounty maps into the rotation. And lastly, for the 3v3 modes, we have Heist. So with Heist, 3 maps have been removed, 3 maps added. We have Snaked Assault added back into the rotation, Pit Stop, and Bridge Too Far as well. You guys should be aware of these maps already then. And then the maps have been removed are GG Mortuary, Riverbanks, and Trifecta. Okay, and lastly, for all the map pool changes, we have Showdown. So Showdown, 2 new maps have been added, and the rest of them have been completely removed. So only 7 maps within the rotation right now. The new maps that have been added: School Creek back again, and Cavern Churn. So maps that we're familiar with, but a lot of maps have been removed. Okay, and lastly for today's video then, we have the Power League rotations. So we have Hard Rock Mine, Double Swoosh, and Crystal Arcade for the Gem Grab rotation then. And then we have Pit Stop, Safe Zone, and Bridge Too Far for the Heist rotation. We have Shooting Star, Canal Grande, and Layer Cake for Bounty. And then moving on to Brawl, we have Super Beach, Pinhole Punt, and Sneaky Field. So pretty nice Brawl rotation right there. And then Ring of Fire, Dueling Beetles, Open Zone. So I don't think anything has changed within the Hot Zone one. And then finally for Knockout, we have Gold Arm, Gooch, Out in the Open, and Bell's Rock. Alright guys, it's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. So I'd have liked to put a little bit more time into this video, but unfortunately, as you guys probably know already, I was in Germany for such a long time and I only had about an hour or so to record this one. But hopefully you guys got some good insight. So a lot of big changes right here within the meta. Hopefully brawlers like NITA will come into the meta. I think surely she has to be one of the most meta brawlers right now. All top 5 brawlers getting nerfs, so you might see a lot of other brawlers below them power creeping up into the meta. So not necessarily some of the brawlers that got buffed, but I think a lot of them will start creeping up within the meta. That's going to be my prediction anyways. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know what you think of all of the changes down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.